afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, February 9th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern. If we're viewed, let's say we're viewed by the universe as perfect, and that we really make no mistakes, why is it that we look at ourselves as that we don't do the right things and we make all kinds of mistakes? It can cause us to become hard on ourselves. We have a tendency to criticize ourselves. And actually, we really don't make mistakes. And this language here, I made a mistake here, I made a mistake there. It's actually just an experience. It's all a different perspective in the higher frequencies. So, when we look at ourselves as being faulty, like a lot of people get letters from. Some people want to cash it in and end it, and that they have convinced themselves through their ego minds that they're worthless and that they shouldn't be living and they can't do anything right. And it's they're in the lowest of the lowest lows. And, this can happen to any of us at any time when we allow our physicality, our how do you put it, where we get so far convinced by the ego mind that we become an absolute prisoner of our lives, of our existence. In other words, rather than us really embracing and enjoying, we're doing the opposite. Does that make any sense? Does it do anything for us? No, it pulls us down. We get depressed, and then some of us get so depressed that we just say, well, I just don't want to be in the body anymore. I don't care to be in the body anymore. I've had it. This is it. And when you experience a life like that, what are the properties of it? What does it do for you? What do you learn anything? Just to be in the lower doldrums of existence, that you're worthless and can't do anything right. Everything is just an absolute mess, and it goes on and on and on. But in reality, when we are consciously aware, when we know that, what we are, who we are, and I'm not talking about, to a finite level, but at least generally, when we say to ourselves, I've made a lot of mistakes in the past, and in the past, they're not blunders at all in the eyes of the universe. Anything that we believe is a mistake is simply the mind judging ourselves and not seeing the divine clearly. All of this is a perfect part of seeing the absolute, complete perfection of the soul, God unfolding itself and awakening to its full expression and potentiality. And see, the only reason that we have these things sometimes is so that we know the difference between them. In the event that and they're not mistakes, they're experiences. I experienced this, but see how we're taught here, I really made a bad mistake there. I experienced something that taught me some things. And it was an experience. That's what it is. It's nothing else. It's just an experience. And so the experience, instead of saying the mistakes that you've made in the past are not blunders in the eyes of the universe, you can say the experiences that I have had in the past have taught me many things. I've learned many things through these experiences. You see, you're looked upon, and this is where we're heading. This is if we choose to. If we choose to go this route, in our own way, in our own direction, we're heading towards a divine existence all the way around. Not just the God within, but everything. Okay? Now, I've had people say, well, I don't remember anything about all my past lives. Why do I have to keep coming here? And every time I experience a different life, and then I don't remember it, so it can't help me or assist me if I choose to go back in to another body. So I experience another life. Why is that? Why is it that I'm not allowed? Is it that I can't, pull on my experiences from past lives to kind of guide me in this life, so that I know some of the things that I do are redundant? It's repetitive. See, there's a couple of flaws there that we must, in our own way, understand. Is that we come here to perfect, right? That's what we're told, right? We come here to perfect. And we do in certain ways. We enter the physical body, and when we enter the physical body, we start experiencing. From the day one, we start experiencing as soon as the baby goes in utero, we enter it, and then we enter that baby body, and then we start experiencing immediately. And so as the body grows, we experience more. Now, obviously, we're going to do things that, we really don't know, what is a right or wrong. At a young age, we just do them, and we experience them. It's like you're a child, and you see the stove. Now, you don't know that the stove is hot. I mean, you don't know it's going to harm you, right? How do you know that? You can't know that, okay? So mom's there, dad's there, and they're busy doing something, and you take your hand, and you're curious because they're putting things on the surface, right? Now, you don't know that if it's gas, you don't know if the flame's going to burn you. You have no clue of that. You just think it's interesting, and you look at that, and you say, well, what is that? I want to find out what that is. So what do? You put your hand either in the hot flame or on the hot surface, and it burns the hand. And you just reel, and you're totally blown away because it really hurts bad. And you say, well, I'm not going to put my hand on that there again because I know what it will do to me. That's an experience. Not a mistake. It's an experience. So we do these things through this existence in these bodies in this life so that we can experience them and then perfect. But the interesting thing here is that we go through however long we're in the body in this life, and then we leave it, okay? And then we go through this process, all right? This process of, you see before you leave the body, you see this tunnel and the light. Most people do. And then you start going towards this light. And then you get there. You know, many people have talked to me at near-death experiences where they are in this place, they show up, and someone meets them. And sometimes the one that meets them is familiar, other times they don't recognize them because they're just coming out of the one life they left. It could be someone from a previous life that they had experienced, but then at first they don't recognize them. And so you're brought in, and you're so-called crossing over, right? Which means that you have left the body, and that the God, the God, are literally going into this other existence in your God form, and you're interacting with all these different loved ones that have long since gone from the body, and you have your pets and everything from different lives, and you're seduced into all of this. It's just wonderful, and you're seeing others that have left long ago and left recently, and they're all clapping as you come in, and they're all cheering you and everything. And isn't it interesting that we were created through source creation out of deep eternal love? That's bottom line. And we have as gods, we have all the freedom that ever can exist. But interestingly enough, we are not, we are stopped from knowing our existences, from actually carrying those experiences throughout the existence of the God. And when, how can you perfect when you don't remember? Isn't that interesting? How can you do that? How can you perfect when you don't remember? Right? Very few of us that come into bodies are newbies. In other words, just created from source. Very few. There are some, of course, but the majority of us have been through this quite a few times. Some of us, countless times. See, why is it that we go into the body and we never are able to use those things as experiences to guide us? It's interesting, isn't it? This doesn't make any sense, and I've had a lot of people say that doesn't make any sense. So, what we're doing should we constantly be forgiving ourselves to remind ourselves that we are a mistake, that we made mistakes? Or should we just embrace the gods that we are and know that everything, it's not a mistake, it's not a blunder, it is experiencing. That's what we do. So you take some of these words that were created, which are frequencies, and you basically throw them out of the hot air balloon basket. Why get so miscombobulated and labeled, labeled that of our whole journey is knowing who and what we are, which is for each of us to discover in our own way, in our own time, which is we are God. We are the kingdom of God. And we're part of all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. So in this life that we don't take seriously, we don't take it too seriously. We don't want to, why would you take it seriously? It is designed for us to enjoy life, enjoy the existence in these bodies, experience things. Yeah, some of them, okay, so I experienced this, and I learned this. Well, that was a mistake. Not really. It was an experience. Okay? So what we do, if we really, really focus on the understanding that we're going through this existence, mastering. We master. That's what we do. And we experience. So now, if you're in a conversation with somebody And they go, wow, that was a big mistake. And you look at them and go, there's no such thing as a mistake. I'm experiencing. So from this, I have learned this. Doesn't that make a lot more sense? It really does. Because what happens, and I think we've all experienced it at one time, shape, form, or another, what happens when you're making mistakes through life? And what is connected with the perspective of making a mistake? Oh boy, negativity, maybe. Fear, maybe. Self-esteem, maybe. Depression, maybe. But when, from the heart mind, we say to ourselves, you say to yourself, Jim, you have experienced something here. Instead of saying, what a mistake I made here. What an experience this is. Okay? Which eliminates and it focuses us on perfecting. We focus on the experience, not the label of a mistake, a blunder. I messed up, or, we use the other colorful metaphors. And no, you didn't mess up. You were experiencing something, and that's a fact. You can't debate that, because whatever we do, we're experiencing. You say, okay, so I experienced this, and I know now that is something I will not visit again. Through the experience that it afforded me. Through the decision that I made to engage it. And we are literally divine perfect. We're literally perfection. And literally viewed that way by the universe, by source creation, by Mother, Father, God, by Prime Source Creator God. Our whole family. We're not looked upon as imperfect or faulted or, all of these things, all of the different aspects. Do you know that you could literally experience from every single one of us that we are holding experiences that others can experience by interacting with us? It doesn't matter what your what your life acumen is, or what you're doing, or where you came from, or any of that. What matters is that each of us carry a treasure trove of experience by interacting with each other. And I'm not talking through the smartphones, but like the real way of interacting in person. And when we interact with each other, we learn from each other. We experience from each other. I'm sure you've all heard the adage that, the student becomes the teacher, and the teacher becomes the student. That's what we do with each other. We learn from each other. Now, understand something. When we couple, or we are in relationships, and we feel comforted because the one we're in relationship with does everything that we do. They're very similar. Oh, well, you like that, I like that. Now, understand what happens is that, doesn't it make sense that you would couple with somebody that was a lot different, that you learned from, rather than, everything's the same, blah, 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 blah. And instead, you're kind of, invited out of your little comfort zone into areas of unknown with this other being. And so you interact and you learn, because, well, they don't like this, but, you try this or do this, or, different perspectives. That's how we learn, we experience. And every one of us can teach each other a lot of different things. Rather than us sitting there judging each other day in and day out on our interaction with each other. Of course, you know, a lot of us have been pulled away by AI, by, you know, bugged down on our smartphones and picking away on a screen keyboard to communicate one another. I mean, you can see what AI can do to a civilization, how it can desensitize them, how it can pull them away from real physical interaction, communication, talking, those types of things. And the more that we are in, you see all these different experiences that we are presented to embrace, we find out that, wait a minute here, I'm getting way off track. I'm getting very comfortable not really one-on-one communicating with people. I'm getting more comfortable to not, just through a electronic device, a technology. And we all see it everywhere, airports, grocery stores, walking down the street, restaurants, everywhere, where people are just totally in a trance, catatonic almost, talking on their smartphones, ticking away. And I kid you not, I have talked with people, and they have said to me, text me. I said, well, we're on the phone right now, let's talk. No, it's just text me. Okay? And you can only, come on, you're going to text, 14 pages of communication. You can't do that. So texting in certain areas is beneficial because it expedites information much quicker to people. And there are some good things about it, but then there's a lot of negatives. So when we, in this life that we're in, we realize that all what we're doing is experiencing. We're perfecting ourselves. And everything is an experience. Whether you make a mistake, whether you mess up, why did I do that? I should have known better. This is, we all do. We've all gone through that. And instead of just saying, another experience, more things that I have learned, without anger and frustration and stress and banging yourself on the head with a bat because you're, being critical of yourself and those types. It's not even. Those are the ego mind things and the self-judging that we do with ourselves. So, everything, and I'm sure that you can comprehend and be consciously aware of this, is that this is what we do. And then we create. And we create things into reality. Every single thing that I am sharing with the millions of you is putting things together for yourselves. It really is. It's constructing a beautiful horizon for you to embrace. And you're putting together the pieces because you've never been able to do that before, because just about everything out there is twisted. How can you follow a twisted direction? It'd take you 1,000 times longer than if it was straight. And you can experience, sure, you go off the path and you go over there and you say, I'm going to go over here and experience this, or I'm going to go over here and experience that. You don't have anybody saying, well, you might be making a mistake there. No, there's no such thing as a mistake. We experience. You see how that would literally clean a lot of the debris out of our ways, that it causes us with the ego mind, and then we start going into frustration, and then we start going into not being able to forgive ourselves and ridiculing ourselves and banging on ourselves. Does that make any sense? really doesn't, does it? So, in this meditation, it's simply put, we are experiencing. So if you will, go to the place where you're not going to be interrupted, and I'm sure we all are. And the first thing we want to do is relax our bodies. And, a lot of us really, take our bodies so much for granted that we don't experience anything with our bodies until what? We have pain or something starts not working right. And then we're drawn to have the attention on the body, but not so much the body. It's just that it's irritating us and we want it to be gone. And it's, we're getting, fearful of it, whatever it may be. So the body is so important. Communicating with the body, talking with your body, saying, body, I think it's time we should relax. Just go into this meditation. And just, you just kind of lean back, and I have you, and let's just relax together. And let go of all these things that I've embraced that are just thoughts that I embrace and I bring in, create into reality. And just let it all fly. Just, go with the flow. Roll with it. Don't, it's just so ridiculous that we get so caught up in so many stupid things. And instead of just looking at it as that we're experiencing these things. I'm experiencing these things. So we relax the body and we move into the now. And the now really is all we really have. The past, the present, the future exist in the now. Everything's happening in the now. A lot of us will incessantly, it's like a habit. We go into the subconscious room and we roll our luggage out from past experiences and reminiscing, and we literally take it into the future, and then we relive it in our futures. And that's a choice. Maybe it's an unconscious choice, but do we really care to do that? Is it a mistake? No, it's not a mistake. But do we really care to do that? I don't really think so. And so, moving into the now, what's so great about the now? I've been asked. What's so great about the now? Well, the now, number one, stills the ego mind. The ego mind takes a break, all right? And all those thoughts that just lambast us stop for a period of time. And the subconscious mind also takes a break. And the mind takes a break. And the heart mind, where we reside, just kind of floats along. And in the now, the very now that all of us in this moment are, we are creating our futures. We're designing our futures. Because we're all architects. Not only are we architects, we are builders. We are carpenters. We are tin knockers. We are surface layers. We are plumbers. We are electricians as we design our future. In this very moment, in this very now. Also, to also assist us, we want to focus on our breathing. So we literally breath in through the nose, nice, healthy breath in through the nose, and then we kind of hold it for brief 3 seconds, and we use the frequencies. Those 3 seconds is I am love, I am light, I am. I am light, I am love, I am light, I am love, I am. And then we easily exhale through the mouth. We want to do this at least 6 times while I'm talking. Why do we need to focus on our breath? Well, you don't need to. No one's forcing you to. But it is absolutely imperative that we do if we want to stay in the now. The breath is the now. The breath feeds our physical bodies. It oxygenates our blood. It strengthens us. It improves our circulation in these bodies. It does a lot of things. And to focus on it, which most of us don't because we shallow breathe and we take our breath for granted. And a lot of the times, we take our breath for granted. And focusing, breathing in, hold it 3 seconds, I am light, I am love, I am, and then breathing out. It keeps us in the now because the breath is always in the now. It's not yesterday, it's not tomorrow, it's the now. And as we breath in, we're breathing in divine positive energy. And what is divine positive energy? It is from the highest of highest highs of deep eternal love, the deepest of gratitudes. It is source creation of that which made us, which created us. And it is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever beyond, and forever. Its power is immeasurable. Its effectiveness through transition is perfection. There is no such thing as a dark, low matter frequency that can hold its form or its existence in this high of a frequency. It is indebatable. It is a fact. So the divine positive energy comes through source creation into the kingdom of God within us, through the heart mind. It doesn't go through the ego mind. And so when this information, which it's a frequency that comes in and we feel it through the heart mind, it isn't shaded or fogged when it comes in through the heart mind. It basically communicates to us that we perfect ourselves through experiencing. And in this existence, in these bodies, it's exactly what we do. We create, and we create things into reality. We create our existence. We create our lives. We create our futures. We experience all of it. Different aspects, different vernaculars, different ways we experience 24/7. You experience your breath. Every breath you take in the now. You experience the now. You experience the past. You experience the future. All in the now. We experience our breath, our breathing. We experience our blinking of our eyes. We experience our eyesight on what we view. These are all experiences, everything. We experience through touching, okay? We literally experience driving. We experience family. We experience ourselves, relationships. We experience everything. The interesting part of it is that a lot of the times we aren't conscious that that's what we're doing. We call it living. In reality, is experiencing. This is why we value life as the highest value in the universes. It is all about life. Because guess what? Without life, you cannot experience. Okay? Why do you think so many of us gods are busily incarnating throughout all the universes? I mean, throughout all existence. Yes, there's lower levels of consciousness that enter different forms, and as the consciousness rise within those sorts of creations, they go into higher and higher life forms. They're forms that we take on. Now, as we breath out, of course we breath out things that are more experiencing, which is, do we choose it or don't we? You know, oh, this is just a bunch of gobbledygook and it's not really real, and, you know, don't even pay any attention to it. You know, you're doing just fine where you're at. Follow me and you'll be fine. That's the ego mind. See, because the ego mind doesn't want to lose you, because if the ego mind loses you, then the ego mind just can't satisfy, which it can never be satisfied, but it's constantly seeking satisfaction. And it sure as heck doesn't want you to go anywhere. So, we're in the heart mind. We house the kingdom of God within us, the heart of God, the mind of God, and we have many with us. Who do we have? Who is with us? The archangels, cherubim, the seraphim, the archetypes, all of them. There are trillions of them. And they vibrate at a different frequency. They're a different civilization. Imagine what we can learn from them, with them. Imagine that. Imagine what we would learn interacting with them. Well, that's coming. And what they would learn interacting with us one-on-one. And they vibrate at a different frequency than we do, but eventually we will be at a frequency where they will be everywhere. And they all have a high vibrational frequency because they wouldn't be here right now. And they're the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes. And thousands surround one of us at any given time. They've been with us since the beginning. What about the ascended masters? They're always with us. These are gods who have ascended out of body and mastered many understandings, experienced. We are ascended masters who have ascended into body. To do what? To master or to experience. You see, is there any difference there? Not really. Kuan Yin, Maitreya, Buddha, Lakshmi, Ganesh, Gaia, Saint Germain, Sananda, Jesus, El Moria, Abundantia, Pel, and Thought, and many, many, many more. They too are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love, and the highest and deepest gratitudes. So we're all together. We're here. And we come together arm in arm, hand in hand, to form a circle of light, a halo around the equator of this planet Earth, Gaia, who is currently resting. And our light is brilliant. It is because of the God within us. It is such a high vibrational frequency that it creates such a brilliant light that it brays out the darkness of space. And this brilliant light literally engulfs and encases the entire planet on and above and below and all life, as well as all of us. And it literally shows us, it's like a glittering gossamer field. And it is filled with different frequencies. Emerald green flaming healing light, Archangel Raphael. It is a reminder to continually communicate with us the power within us to heal. The violet, blue, purple flaming light of Archangel Michael. It is there to remind us of our power, our strength, our resolve. The white fire is there to remind us of the armor that we are adorned with. The armor is the highest of all high frequencies of deep eternal love. And nothing can even sustain near that armor that isn't of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love. It will either vaporize or it will have to retreat quickly. So, also we have the purple transmuting flame, which reminds us that we can transmute any low frequencies into neutral light substance. And we can send them back to the great central center, our prime source creator, source creation, for repurposing. We can bring in the violet ray, of which we have this ability to cleanse the area of the former inhabitants of the lower dark matter frequency. And then we have the golden white pink light of source creation, of deep eternal love, of that which created us. So we're protected 24/7. The only time we're not protected is when we make the choice where we lower our vibrational frequencies through anger, upset, fear, worry, stress, anxiety, and we just throw open those doors and invite them all in. It is our choice. So we begin to levitate up above the planet. And as doing, we decide to step out of the body and to float above it. And where we're floating is that we're receiving massive flow from source creation continually. Except since we're there on top of the body, we actually see it coming in constantly, flowing through us, in us, around us, above us, below us. It's everywhere. And it is pure, deep, eternal love. As we do this, we're compelled. We call out to all the light energy beings that are in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. They have to be at a high frequency. So only those who are of the highest, deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, in the highest and deepest gratitudes. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. And they come in the guru-plexes. One guru-plex fills this universe. They come from endless universes in every direction. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, this circle of light, this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They're of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. We're all love. And our God-light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the inhabitants of Hollow Earth, Garta, Inner Earth, Beneath Earth, all of these civilizations. There are many. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light, and the highest of deepest gratitudes. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, peace, joy, tranquility, benevolence, and they come in the billions, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, this circle of light, this meditation, and with the highest of deepest gratitudes. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon the galactics, the off-worlders. Just to name a few, the Pleiadians, the Arcturians, the Andromedans, the Sirians, and many, many, many more, as there are many. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest of deepest gratitudes join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness and kindness and generosity and humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. They have been with us in our evolution. They have assisted us in our enlightenment, in our ascension, in our freeing ourselves from our own self-imposed bondage and our own self-imposed slavery. They're of the highest of deepest eternal love from the highest, deepest eternal love. And the highest of deepest gratitudes. And arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes, and we are all one, and we are all love, and our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon our loved ones. All those who have ascended out of body in this lifetime and all lifetimes that we've inhabited. And only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love from the highest, deepest, eternal love and the highest and deepest gratitudes join us in this now, in this meditation, in this circle of light. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-negativity, non-ego, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, and benevolence. They come, arm in arm, hand in hand. They join us in this now, this circle of light, this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one. And we are all love. Our God light energy is absolutely everywhere. We call upon all of the light energy beings who have decided to be housed in the following forms on and above and below this planet Earth Gaia, in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Only those who are of the highest, deepest, eternal love, from the highest, deepest, eternal love, can join us in this meditation, in this now, in this circle of light. Highest of deepest gratitudes. They're in full compassion, non-judgment, non-ego, non-negativity, stillness of mind, gentleness, kindness, generosity, humbleness, joy, bliss, peace, tranquility, tranquility, benevolence, may come. Fairies, sprites, elves, dwarves, gnomes, trees, elementals, earth, air, water, fire, mermaid, the dolphin, the whale, the Pegasus, the unicorn, the centaur, the minotaur, and many, many, many more. They come in the trillions, in shapes, colors, sizes, forms, configurations of which we have never seen before. Arm in arm, hand in hand, they join us in this now, in this circle of light, in this meditation. Their gods with our gods with theirs. They are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. We are of the highest, of deepest, deepest, deepest gratitudes. And we are all one, and we are all love, and our God, light, energy is in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. It lifts the very fabric of all creation. It accelerates all frequencies into the highest of highest highs, of the highest of the deepest eternal love and the deepest of eternal gratitudes. We look up and we see our meditative sphere. It said center circle. We created this sphere. It holds all of our meditations in perpetual motion, hundreds of them. They don't just fizzle out, they grow in strength and expanse. And they multiply. Their frequencies are of the highest high. They saturate the fabric of sacred space. This sphere can be seen, heard, and felt in all that there is, ever has been, ever will be, ever, beyond, and forever. We feel it as it floods us, head to toe, inside and out, our physical bodies and our kingdom of God. It is pure source creation high frequency. We feel the love that we are, the joy that we are, and we embrace all of the experiences that we have had and continue to embrace. We experience the joy of life every second. The happiness, the bliss, the peace, the abundance, the prosperity, the riches, the wealth, all of it. It is our doing. It is our creation. It is our intentions. This flow of source creation is everywhere. This is why we are connected to everything. This is why we value life. It's the highest value in the universe, in existence. It gives the gods the opportunity to experience, to perfect our lives through the experiences that we embrace. Our gods are perfection. Divine essence and energy. We look down upon the planet, we see all life, all of our brothers and sisters, all of everything, in, on, above, and below this planet Earth Gaia. And we flood it non-stop. All of life, everything, everyone. Right now, in this very moment, they are literally being totally saturated and flooded beyond belief, beyond existence. Any low, dark-lying matter frequencies are becoming non-existent. In 5D frequency, they get nowhere. They they fade away. They can no longer feed on fear and anger and frustration and pain and disillusionment, because we embrace the highest of highs of all high frequency. Source creation's deep, eternal love, happiness and joy, peace. And we bring thoughts we create into reality. And we experience. And this planet, God planet, and our existence, paradise, and pure bliss. And who is doing this? We are. We are. We are. I join you in the meditation and return to close us out. as we continue to be conscious and experience, we see a clearer and clearer and clearer picture. And we understand that every single second is an experience for us in these bodies. So we experience throughout the day, into the evening and night, and the following morning, we continue on. And we're becoming more and more aware of who and what we are in this journey within us. So we become more experienced, more knowing, more knowledgeable, and humble. Because we can learn and experience from everything. Even from a grain of sand, we can experience. We are creators who continually experience so that we perfect our creations into every single thing we desire. So we create it through the experience and bring it into reality because of the knowledge we have gained through the experiences. And what we desire, we create. We will have a special help call tomorrow night at 9 p.m. We're going to go through synergistic application of all of the full MENA products, what their meaning is, and how they connect the dots, the health of our bodies. We're going to cover many other things. Just you bring something to write with. It's at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, Monday, Eastern Time. Also, on February 23rd, I will be doing a live conference call with Sheldon Neidl on their call, and I think they have sent it out, but I'm going to be discussing quite a few things: the status of the planet, the status of many things, where we're at, what's going on, without any gobbledygook mixed in. So that's on the 23rd of this month, February 2020. We will be back here February 10th, 2020, 3 p.m. Eastern, to continue the Global Guided Meditation calls.